A very good morning to all of you children. I hope so you all are fine. So today we are going to discuss about the topic regarding the Gupta Empire. I have already taught you the Gupta Empire, so let's get a quick revision regarding the Gupta Empire. So after the fall of modern empire, North Indian witnessed a lot of political instabilities. That means that a lot of problems. Then what happened? The Kushana Empire established a stronghold in the North India in the first century BCE, which started declining around the 3rd century BCE. So what happened, children? The Kushanas, many small kingdoms emerged into a Indian subcontinent. So from there, none of these kingdoms were having a strong willpower to build a vast empire. By the beginning of the 4th century, what happened? By the beginning of the 4th century, the small kingdom and republics were united into a single empire, which was said to be a Gupta Empire. So let's get started. What it is written here: after the fall of Mauryan Empire, Gupta Empire came. Already I have taught you that firstly you have to keep in your mind that after the Gupta's empire, when it came, after the declining of the Mauryan Empire, when Mauryan Empire was declined totally, then the Gupta's empire came. The Kushana Empire, which was also a small empire, started declining around the 3rd century. None of these kingdoms were strong enough to build a vast empire. So children, I was telling you that Kushana empires, they were very small empires, small kingdom, you can say that. So they were having not enough powers or willpower so that they can make a large kingdom. So what happened? The Kushana Empire, by the beginning of the 4th century CE, these small kingdom and republic were united into a single empire, the Gupta Empire. So three things you have to keep in your mind. The first thing is that the Gupta Empire, when it came after the fall of Mauryan Empire, and before starting, or we can say establishing the Gupta Empire, the Kushana Empire was there, which was a small kingdom. So what happened? The small kingdoms, they gathered and they strengthened their power into a big empire, which is said to be a Gupta Empire. Okay, so let's see the next one. So children, I have written here the Gupta Empire's little bit topics I have written. I have written in a short way, so it will be very easy for you to understand. So before starting this point, I would like to revise you something, that the sources of the information, we got a lot of informations on the Gupta empires from the literatures and as well as archaeological sources. The first was that painting of a Ajanta cave. The most important thing is that painting of a Ajanta cave and iron pillar, which was famous in which period? During the Gupta Empire. And the coins were also issued by Gupta empires, which tell us the information regarding the economy of the period. And two most important thing was that the first is that the famous poet whose name was Kalidasa. So he belongs to which empire? He belongs to the Gupta Empire. And the second was that the foreign traveler name was Fahin. So first is that, children, the first is Kalidasa, and the second is what, children? Fahin. Fahin was who? He was a foreign traveler. So during the period of Gupta Empire, Fahin came in India. When he came in India, during the period of Gupta Empire, when Gupta empires were ruling. And the Kalidasa was a great poet who belongs to a Gupta Empire.